because Pedro's busy. He's going to be playing Guy Gardner, right? Hello, everyone. Welcome.
So amazing.
I'm glad Homelander is a devoted fan of the show.
As someone who's never seen that, I'm sure there is subtext to that.
You've never seen The Boys?
I need to.
Oh, dude. You do. Well, you know that famous scene in Grant Morrison's All-Star Superman where he rescues somebody who's about to jump from a building?
Yep.
It's that, but if The Boys did it.
Oh.
So
wow. All right. That's
yeah.
So equally heartwarming is what you're saying.
Pretty much. I hope James Gunn takes a cue from The Boys.
Did you see him trolling the internet this morning?
No, what did he do? I missed that.
He posted a photo of stacks of 3x5 index card boxes on his desk, and he said that is all of the new Superman movie. It's all my index card drawings of every scene. And I was like, oh, you son of a bitch. Like, I want to see what this is. So
you should get a big old notebook like Snyder has for his movies.
Or Jodorowsky's Dune, right? Like the infamous Dune tome. So
Dune. I still need to watch Dune 2. And
I still need to watch Dune 1. I own it.
It's hard to find 4 hours of the day where I can block out.
Right.
Travel to the theater. Oh, Clay, hold on. Let me see. Did you need me to bring you, Clay? Sorry, I thought you were going to do it. I don't know if you were ready or not.
Yeah, everything is just still like moving at a hamster's pace.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to keep you on? You want to figure it out?
Yeah. Apologies to all our hamster watchers out there.
Just slow as hell.
Turn everything off.
Too. I was about to reboot and just was going to give up on the day.
Well, we can try it. See how far we can get.
Yeah, you look fine on. Oh well, shit! I shouldn't have said. Oh, okay.
I'm moving so much, Clay.
No, that's just
but then we won't know if he's frozen or not. Maybe move more. All right. Then
wait, is that Kate Middleton?
Yeah.
Now we know.
Careful now. We don't want to get in trouble with the Royals.
Yes, they're to blame for your computer issues. I mean,
if anything, we know that Clay can do a better job at Photoshop than what they've got going on. So
yeah,
maybe they should hire Clay to help them out.
I would have photoshopped Kate taking pictures with the aliens.
It would have been Kate. You know that little alien they found in Mexico that they brought to Congress? That looks like a cake?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, have you guys ever seen that video of the queen like cutting her own cake? Like she just stabs it from the top.
No, I gotta find this.
That's it. It's because like they want her to do like the first cut of her own cake, but she just goes at it like. Let's go, queen. That's why you are beloved by your country.
You only get one speed when you get that part to the top.
Yeah.
All right. So what we have, Clay, before anything happens.
Yes.
Last week, think of this show as a continuation of last week. If you were watching, we had a bracket in mind that we were going to go over. It shouldn't take too long because there's not that many events, but Jeff put together for us. Is it the saddest moments in comic books? Saddest events?
These are just I put together a bracket that are just it's a bracket of death. So I'm going to call this March Sadness, the upcoming March Madness. I created this bracket a while ago, so it is not titled March Sadness. But these are just some deaths that happen in the comics. It's not a bunch. There's only 16 of them. and we're just going to rank them. I guess of which ones we think are either the sadder or more like a bigger death or something along those lines. Just be fun. Let's talk about dead people.
Is there,
Yay!
is there a special category for those you had to call in a 900 number and pick?
I'm not going to say who's on the. I did try to stray away from like more controversial deaths. Like nobody's in a refrigerator. Nobody is fridged in this.
All right, smart. Yeah.
You don't have Captain Marvel dying. Oh no, sorry, was it Marvel that died? Like
of cancer.
Yeah,
we're gonna find out who's on the list. We're gonna see how many tears that we can shed as men today.
March Sadness.
March Sadness.
So let's get into it.
Lists.
Jeff, if at any point I struggle, feel free to please jump in because I don't recognize all the pictures. So, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna let you describe it when I pull them up.
Yeah, sure.
Since you kind of put all these together, and we'll start with myself. We'll go in order of the screen, and then we'll just kind of rotate who does the first pick to rotate the tiebreaker because we will. Since Kyle's not here, he's being a good Samaritan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or so he claims. I don't know. I don't check up on things. I don't need a doctor to know when you don't show up at the recording time.
It's not like you're tracking his movement on his cell phone, you know.
Not yet. All right.
We're gonna get an Apple tag on all of us.
That's right.
So here we have.
Hold on. Let me. There you go. All right. Just wanted to get as much of the screen as we could. With not a sponsor, Ford. We're not sponsored by Ford at the moment. This is
yeah. So we have one of the most iconic deaths in comic book history is the death of Superman, and then one of the most infamous deaths in comics is the death of Bucky. Of course, we could do that with Superman 2, the air quotes. This is when Bucky tried to save Captain America towards the end of World War II and ended up getting exploded by a rocket. And Superman, of course, died at the hands of Doomsday.
Is the assumption that this is how you kind of would read these at the time, like without knowing that they would eventually come back to be retconned to not be dead or whatever? Like, is that the assumption?
Yeah, you can play it like that way, or you can just, whichever one keeps you up at night where you're thinking, gosh.
There's no way you read that Superman and didn't know he was going to die, though. That was hyped.
Right.
That was build. That was in the ad. It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, but you didn't know he was going to come back eventually.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
no,
they always.
Well, normies didn't. Comic fans knew.
Yeah, that was the first. Wasn't that like the first time they killed like a big major superhero like in comics? I mean, I saw the news reports. CNN didn't lie back then.
Yeah, it was all over like mainstream news. Yeah.
There's.
I will also add that Bucky.
They'll bring him back eventually.
Bucky's death is retconned.
Yeah.
In that he did not die actually when they were doing comics in World War II. That story came out in the 70s.
Yeah. I mean, especially when they show you 4 new Superman like the next month.
Exactly.
All right, so I'm gonna start.
He was dead for what, a year? Superman.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I don't know. I don't remember those days. I'm gonna pick. I have to go with Superman on mine. So, Josh, who do you got?
I'm going with Bucky actually because that Superman death was just them. It was basically Snyder's Man of Steel before Snyder's Man of Steel. It was just him fighting for an entire issue, whereas Bucky's like actually sacrificing himself for the greater good here. So,
I'm sure Doomsday had just kept running around.
I know. No, that's true. But I don't know. I feel like in my heart, the sacrifice of Bucky, a teenager with no powers, is more important than Superman. That's just me. I'm probably the lone Bucky fan here.
All right,
I love it.
Clay,
I'm going with Bucky.
Yes!
I mean, and I really kind of have a couple of reasons for it. We do know that the Superman death was hyped.
Yeah.
It had come after Nightfall, and DC was a buzz about how can we, wasn't it?
No, didn't. I think Nightfall came after Death of Superman.
There was this series, I thought that it was like Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, they were all kind of like killed or rebooted.
That was the 1 year later. That was later in the 2000s.
Okay.
No, I think you're right, because Superman died, and then I think between his death is when they did the Broken Back Batman thing.
Yes, right.
And
it's only because I was working at the comic store when this all hit. So
okay.
yeah.
But then
and I do think that they killed Wonder Woman, or they didn't, or they replaced her with Artemis. They just depowered Wonder Woman or something like that.
Yeah. And you take into account like what were the after effects of that? You got the 4 Superman, where you kind of got like, I don't know if they were great when they were brought back. Superboy, like I just read the Justice League Last Ride, and Brainiac uses Eradicator's body in that, which is kind of cool. But nothing turns out as great as the Winter Soldier does. So I feel like Bucky's death, even though it's retconned, is done way better than Superman's death.
I don't know if that was the question.
Oh, you're just talking the saddest. The saddest is the death of a kid over the death of a superhero.
There you go. All right. Yeah.
Explain it that way.
Yeah, I guess it's not like I was crying when I saw that Justice League episode when they all go to his funeral. Anyways, Jeff,
this is exactly what I hoped for. Well, the best I can do is hope for a tie to Kyle. The best you can hope for is a tie break to go to Kyle at some point. I am thinking about this because when they brought Cap back in the 70s, like his first 2 years were about him just like being sad about Bucky's death.
Right.
And I know everybody was sad about Superman in the DC universe, but they all kind of had to deal with all those other Supermen. But I'm gonna kick this to Kyle because the fervor around Superman's death, the black bag, like it was just too big for it not to be for me slightly more significant than Bucky's.
Yeah, the bag that it came in said the death of Superman.
Yeah, and
Spoiler alert.
It was polybagged. You couldn't, you couldn't open it. Yeah.
Oh
and
boy.
So we're gonna have to.
Oh shit! I was gonna be like, which
Heads is gonna be death of Superman. Tails is gonna be death of Bucky.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Wow, this soon.
In your face.
Damn it.
Superman.
Oh,
all right.
Wins in overtime.
It wins in overtime. Oh, right. Oh shit!
Wow.
All right, I never have one. I don't know
the throat on all of these.
Here we have the Waynes. I don't know if you've heard of them. They were shot in an alley. The other one is the death of Ultimate Peter Parker. In the Ultimate Universe, when Brian Bendis killed him off and we first got, the hints of Miles Morales. I will say the death of Ultimate Peter Parker did make me cry. I got a little teared up when reading that issue.
Stop polluting the opinion of the court, Jeff.
We're just stating facts, Your Honor. Just stating facts.
We're gonna start with Josh this time around.
Oh God. I have never read that far into Ultimate Spider-Man, honestly. So I'm going to go with the Waynes. It sounds like this is setting up the fact of a death becoming the impetus for iconic superheroes to emerge, right? Waynes die, you get Batman. Ultimate Spidey dies, you get, Miles Morales, you get all these other kind of spider people. But I'm going to go with the Waynes. So...
Okay, Clay?
Waynes. I mean, that death broke a human to become a bat. I mean, really, if you go into it, Miles being motivated by Peter's death is good and sad, but I think the saddest is an orphan child who's mentally broken, raised by his butler.
A little soft spot for the kids over here, I guess. Okay, Jeff. I mean, I kind of know where you're going, but
I would like to point out that Peter's also a child.
that's true.
But
he's not rich, so we don't care about him.
Yeah, that's
Aunt May will do a GoFundMe and bury him.
Oh.
Oh, wow, that just got dark quick.
Too real.
so real. I'm gonna go the Waynes. I'll go the Waynes.
Whoa, I was not expecting that.
Yeah, so I've also never read the Ultimate Spider-Man run. Well, the old one. I'm reading the current one, which is kick-ass. But I mean, how many times have we seen the Waynes die in cinematic form?
That's a director's problem. Like the fact that after we've had Batman on film for decades, the reason to show him his parents dying is kind of like we've had Batman on TV or movies constantly since the 70s in some form, right?
I'm sorry the image was so iconic that a lot of these directors are like, I need to put that in my movie.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So here's a question. To my mind, that iconic, the string of pearls snapping, all that was Dark Knight Returns, right? And so, I'm sorry,
Year One.
Year One, yeah. So my question is, had that ever appeared before that? Like, is there a 70s, when they kind of got gritty again in the 70s as a reaction against the 66 show? Was that ever established because to me it goes from Year One to Batman 89, recreating that, and then it became like this cultural embedded presentation.
Yeah. I don't know. Let us know in the chat.
Anyway, yeah, I'm curious. But you still haven't picked yours, Danny.
Oh, I mean either way.
Well, true, but
all right.
There it is.
Here we go. Another dead child. Here we have the death of Jason Todd.
Dead child.
Who got beat to death he got beat up by the Joker and then exploded. Could have lived.
Come on, let me just clarify. Let me clarify. He exploded due to unrelated reasons, not the beating. It's not like he beat him enough that he made him explode.
He beat him with a crowbar. Oh, wait. I see what you're saying. Sorry, my brain jumped to the front of that comment. So, all right, go ahead.
The other is the death of Jean Grey on the moon as the Phoenix, where she dies.
Okay. We're gonna start with Clay.
Jean Grey. It's just people wanted Robin to die. That's the only reason I have a hard time picking that Robin. Is granted, trolls wanted Robin to die. Like that Robin. Yeah. So I feel like there was a demand for that, whereas Jean's death affected Scott. Like Scott, I think, is still broken in many ways. I mean, if you look at the dude, he's just dated psychics. Like who's like who wants that kind of mental jump through hoops?
Counterpoint: who is so secure about themselves that they're like, yeah, get in my head, baby. It don't matter.
Yeah, but
I have no secrets from you.
Counterpoint: what do psychics bring to the bedroom?
I mean, we had seen the White Queen pose as Jean a couple of times in Scott's head.
Yeah.
Like Scott is still kind of broken, I feel like. I felt like all the way even up to Krakoa, he has been a broken man because of that death. That death has messed with him. Plus he's had to deal with future version or alternate reality versions of kids they've had together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he married a clone of his wife and then left her because Jean came back. So and
then she became the demon, the the demon
and then Madeline
queen.
Peregrine
And
became the demon
I
queen.
mean,
Yeah.
what would you drink Dr. Pibb when there's Dr. Pepper over there? You know, in the fridge.
Hey! It's Mr. Pibb. Let's not give him an honorary doctorate. All right.
I wanted to localize that to Texas, but I don't really drink either one of those.
so
So
What? Really? Wow.
I'm not a big Dr. Pepper. Like I'll drink one if it's cold, but it's not my favorite drink.
Huh, interesting.
Anyway, sorry. God, who started?
I still like Gene all the way.
Clay voted Gene. All right, Jeff.
I also going to vote Jean because she has some just craziness that comes out of that death.
I'm gonna vote Robin to keep things spicy here. And Josh.
I'm going Jean Grey. Yeah, that. No. I hate to say it, nobody liked that Robin, and I think this was DC's very callous way of getting rid of him by letting the fans decide, which editorially was kind of prescient if you think about it, like in an era before social media, you know. So
Yeah,
if you had the power back then to dial a number and kill a character in comic books, you would do that because nobody was going to save him.
Yeah.
Would you do that with anybody
Right.
today? Is there a character that you would leave up to a poll to?
Wow.
Wow, that's a good question.
I don't know if I could think of a character where like people wouldn't just vote him dead to troll. Like
Beast Boy.
Yeah,
Beast Boy, I think, is beloved in the cartoons, comics, TV shows, everywhere he's been. He's a kid. He's always been like kind of the heart of the group. If you gave the option to vote, I think people would try to say Beast Boy.
I can see that.
Oh, okay.
I think it would be funny if they did it with Jason Todd again.
You know what though? He's so much cooler now. Like I don't know if he would die.
Yeah, people might try to save him now.
All right.
Yeah. Well, so would you have to explicitly be like, do you want to save or kill Jason Todd Robin? Not Red Hood. We're not doing Red Hood. Jason Todd Robin. Oh fuck! This one's hard.
This is very tough.
Oh shit!
So here we have the death of one Steve Rogers, Captain America, and the death of Barry Allen, the Flash.
Is this from Crisis?
Yeah, I was about to ask. Crisis.
Yeah,
Okay.
This is Crisis. That's the.
He's died like 18 times, right?
It's so. We have to clarify.
Yeah.
Jeff, you're
yeah, I
first on this
couldn't.
one.
Oh, I'm the first one. Cap.
Yeah.
Cap all the way.
Cap. All right. Yeah, I had to go Team Cap too. Just to me, at the time I was reading this was one of the first ones that I was like, that I kind of caught live because I was going through the Civil War stuff. Right, we had just gotten the Civil War. We're like, things are looking up. The boys are about to like, get back into it, and then, bang. So yeah, Cap.
All right, so keeping with the theme of this, if we were going most shocking deaths, it would be Cap. But saddest deaths, it's Barry Allen. Because the dude was just like, all right, I'm going to fucking run and save the multiverse or a verse. So I'm going Barry.
Yeah. Okay. Clay?
I'm going Barry.
Yeah.
Oh.
I feel like Cap's, even though Brubaker took control of it and everything, the death of Cap, we knew Cap would come back, like how it would be entertaining. So like his death is like I don't know, but like
and
Barry was doing more to try to save. Like there was this element, and I always feel like Barry, there's also elements of Barry's life that like he knows he's gonna die in some in some way like this. Like even in the TV show, they hinted at like his death in the future.
Oh, at the end of the first episode.
Yeah. So Crisis looms always for Barry.
If you're watching this live and you're in the chat, I mean, if you put you can be the tiebreaker in the chat. So we'll give another moment. If not, we'll definitely flip the coin. But I mean, they're both pretty iconic in their own way. I just feel like Cap, I was there for it, and the other one's more like reading a historical event, you know.
No. I get you. I've read The Death of Cap, and I feel like it is. They really play with the impact and your emotions with that.
Yeah.
But and I could be wrong. Does anyone remember when this hit originally? Because I feel like this truly was a shocking thing. It was the opposite of the death of Superman, right? Like it wasn't built up and in the news. It's like you're reading an issue and went, "Oh fuck!" Like dude gets shot on the courthouse.
I think they kept it secret.
Yeah.
But I do think I kind of remember it being not a secret, but like it was like it maybe broke like a couple of days before or something.
Right. But
it was like the day before.
There wasn't months and months of build up. It wasn't polybagged. And so that's why I was saying, like, if we were doing most shocking, like unexpected, then definitely Cap. But Saddest is Barry.
All right.
Oh, well, Carlos picked it.
Carlos, winner, chicken dinner. Sorry,
He doesn't sound too sad by Cap's death.
Because we all know he came back.
All right, we gotta do this out of the bracket before we.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Back to me. I mean, I'm gonna keep it short because I have to go with Batman's parents on this one. So
yeah. The Waynes.
Clay?
The Waynes.
The Waynes? All right, Jeff, you look like you were not going to pick the Waynes.
I was going to pick Superman, but I guess it don't matter now.
It just...
Sorry, fans of Eradicator and Superboy.
You know, the Waynes were not...
Steel.
The Waynes were just out on the town trying to give their kid a good night.
Watching a Zorro.
Zorro.
Yeah.
No,
I got the Zorro cup of popcorn.
Imagine going to the movies and then you have to leave early. That's why I don't have any kids, because then like I'm not leaving in the middle of a movie.
Tell them to wait in the car.
There's somebody out there that has a joke that's like, why would you go walking down a place called Crime Alley? Like avoid the alley.
I feel like
go down Dead Parent Street.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Jeez, I like that they paired up as DC and Marvel, like DC versus DC, Marvel versus Marvel.
Yeah, that'd have been good.
So this one's Josh. Josh is your go.
Jean Grey.
Clay.
Jean.
Jeff.
I'm still going with my boy Cap.
Ooh. So I guess it's up to me to see if it's gonna be at least a tie.
I mean, it's shocking to see a soldier die, but to see a student die.
Yeah, but at this point, Jean had been like for a year, she had gone down a dark path. I feel like she lost a lot of that goodwill. She ate a planet full of people.
So do you feel at this point there is nothing left of Jean? That
you know what? Okay, here's my argument. What I'm gonna pick. Jean was sad in a triumphant way because she finally got her agency back, right? From the Phoenix. She's choosing to sacrifice herself. Whereas Cap, that was a hit job. So I'm also gonna pick Captain America. Because I don't want to undo the sacrifice that Jean made for everyone. So Carlos or anyone else in the chat, if you guys are still there,
we're just letting the listeners run the show today.
We'll give you a little bit of time. I mean, that's probably a better idea than us having the power. If not, we'll flip a coin. But yeah, let us know in the chat. Decide. Death of Jean Grey, Death of Captain America.
Sharon Carter is the one that shot Cap.
Yeah,
Sharon Carter is like, she's the one that pulled the trigger, and she had to live with that trauma.
Yeah,
for a while.
You got a really good. This is such a good picture of Cap. All right, let's see. We're going to the coin. So heads is going to be Jean. Tails is going to be Cap. Oh wait. Hold on.
Jean.
There you go.
All right.
Carlos with the save.
Carlos again. Carlos is our tiebreaker, I guess. Jean. Okay. Clay's gonna kick us off on this one.
Oh shit!
Fuck.
Wow.
Oh shit. This is really hard.
I don't make these easy, gentlemen.
I mean, yeah, this would have to be the final stage. So Batman. I think I have to go with the Waynes. I mean, it's got to be one of the most tragic things.
All right, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Waynes.
Sorry, Josh, you don't get to vote on this one. 'Cause I'm also gonna go with the Waynes.
I was gonna go with the Waynes too. It's
The
all right.
Waynes were a clean sweep.
Yep, clean sweep.
Oh my god. It's funny because I haven't seen.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Jeff, can you give us a little bit of what's going on here?
So we have this is Uncle Ben being shot, and eventually dying, and then Bill Foster, Giant Man, is getting killed by the Thor clone Ragnarok in Civil War.
Mm.
So yeah, so
I mean,
so I think you start on this one, Jeff.
oh, I start.
Yeah, because Clay went first last time.
Okay. I mean, it's for me. I feel like, oh well, it's Uncle Ben, but I don't want to discount how shocking. I mean, Bill Foster's not like a huge character in Marvel comic. I mean,
He is pretty big though.
he's
the
pretty
biggest
big,
death.
but not the biggest. It was still pretty shocking to see them just like up and kill somebody right in the middle of an issue. But I feel like you've got to go with Uncle Ben.
Yeah, I agree. I remember reading that issue of Civil War and going like, "What the fuck is happening? Why did Thor just do that?" But I gotta go with, once again, I think we've probably seen it the most in film, maybe even more times than the Waynes.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well,
we'll have
I
to go
don't
check.
no, maybe not.
I don't think so.
Because they only did it in the first few Spider-Man series.
Yeah, it's never.
Well, but in the first series, the Raimi films, they showed it in pretty much all three films, even through flashbacks.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So
That's
I was
good.
just counting like how many times we've actually seen it. Whereas I don't know that every Batman movie has shown it.
Batman v Superman showed it.
Oh, that was beautiful. Well done. If I had to pick a favorite rendition, that would be it. I'll save the rest of that conversation for when we do our DCEU tier rankings.
Oh my god.
I'm ready. I'm born
Later
for
on.
that.
Later on, I'm gonna have to stack the deck. I'm gonna need to bring in a ringer, because I feel that otherwise I'm gonna be left to fight a losing battle.
You might be.
Make up some bogus rules, but yeah, for sure. Uncle Ben, Josh,
Uncle Ben.
all right, Clay, just let us know. I mean, you can pick Goliath if you want to feel.
It's a bummer that he has to go. I'll just give him the pity vote because it is Uncle Ben. But that was a shocking one because it was like, oh, cool, we brought back Goliath into the modern age. Boop, no, we didn't. Like, and now we have a giant carcass to deal with.
And Goliath, who was played
That's right. They had to bury the giant carcass.
Goliath, played by Lawrence Fishburne, who was also Perry White in Batman v Superman.
Yeah, I love that Goliath's been in the What Ifs. Like, I would love to see more of the Goliath animated.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
Oh Jesus Christ. Can I love the visual pairing here. The
Yeah.
So here we have the death of
Death
Supergirl
better?
during Crisis. And then we have the death of Captain Marvel in the Death of Captain Marvel series.
So I think it's back to me. I've never read either of these deaths. I don't remember. I know I've read Crisis, but I don't remember if I finished it. Those first few issues are dense.
They are very dense. Yeah, I agree with you.
I can't picture in my mind how she died. But I think just based on the cover alone, and if you saw the thumbnail for this episode, yeah, I'm gonna go with Supergirl.
I've never read The Death of Captain Marvel.
It's cancer. Spoiler.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
he has cancer.
I always felt like it was just, it was that weird period where Marvel was experimenting with these standalone graphic novels. Like they were like trying to figure out what these things were.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with Supergirl because, again, I feel like that moment in Crisis, even though it's on the cover, is like it's setting the stakes, right? It's like really anyone can die. Like let's be honest, So I'm going with Supergirl.
Damn, this is tough.
So
Because-
while Clay decides, is this is the last issue of Crisis that this happens on?
No, I don't think so. I think it's earlier.
It's in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, this is
I think
issue
it
7,
is.
isn't it?
Does she die at the previous issue and then they use this cover to like? I don't
No,
remember.
I think
how
she
this-
dies in this issue. She
Yeah.
goes up against the Monitor. Was sending up one of the big monitor towers or whatever,
Oh,
and she goes in and she's trying to like punch it or something, and laser beams happen, and she said, "Yeah,
So it was
She
an
takes the hit.
OSHA. It was an OSHA violation.
it was an OSHA violation." Yeah, exactly.
Is that what?
Always be
established-
aware of your surroundings.
Is that when OSHA was established in the DC universe?
Yeah. Hard hats.
For anyone
They're going to
not
save your
familiar
life.
with building codes, OSHA is the organization that regulates like workplace safety. I don't remember what it stands for, but
my daughter has her OSHA certification.
there
Actually,
you go.
yeah.
Get your kids OSHA certified.
Huh?
Don't let the OSHA deniers tell you otherwise.
Well, I will tell you this: anytime I stand on a ladder, I definitely hear it from her. So,
She wants you to do like a whole pulley rig.
yeah.
You're going mountain climbing.
Handing me hard hats.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever.
Clay, was that long enough for you to determine?
It's just tough because like I feel like the two deaths were very different. Like Crisis was just showing that anyone could die, and Marvel was, I guess, showing that cancer can kill an alien.
Yeah.
And no one can save, like even with advanced technology, no one can save him. But then they eventually like bring him back. So it's like,
I
but
think
they also bring back.
I don't
Supergirl.
think they have. I mean, they think they brought him back very sparingly, and he's always like a clone. Like, he's not-
it's always never
That's
him.
never him.
it's not
it's
him.
true.
Yeah. And I think this version of Kara Sorrell was a little bit different too than the one we know after Crisis,
I mean,
if
the
I
whole
remember correctly.
thing's been rebooted like 3
Yeah.
times. So
Yeah,
since
I think
then,
I think I'm gonna have to go Supergirl. It's tough, but I don't feel like the Captain Marvel death was. I don't know.
I mean, look, death came for him all the way. So
Yeah, broke up a date with Thanos to be there.
death was probably like, oh, thank God I gotta go to work. This guy's so clingy. Speaking of that, go read the latest Thanos miniseries. Really
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Okay, Jeff. Just to let us know.
I would have picked Captain Marvel because that is actually, if you ever read that, it's very sad.
Oh,
He has
all
to
right.
explain to everybody that he's dying of cancer,
Huh.
and then
unpopular-
all the superheroes just get him and watch him die. Really, that's
So
really
Jeff
all
is
it
saying that an undeserving person won because of ignorance of the others. We've never heard of that.
Oh,
Okay, Jeff, you have to tell me on this first one. I feel pretty
the-
dumb, but okay, I know who it is now. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, that's
I got it.
it's Superman's dad, Jonathan Kent, dying of a heart attack,
Oh,
and then Elektra getting stabbed.
I prefer my Jonathan to die of a tornado, but
come on,
I'm just kidding. I'm just
oh
kidding.
my! Really? You would
come
rather
on!
get swept away by a tornado than this beautiful
A heart attack that Superman cannot do
scene
anything
of
about.
him in the wheat field, like toppling over? Oh
Yeah,
God!
I think Clay goes
His
first. on
wife
this one.
screaming his name in the
Yeah.
fields.
I will say the toughest part of this is the death of Jonathan Kent in the first Superman movie is iconic to me. The film holds so much for me because it is that moment in which Superman cannot save someone,
Right.
and he has to accept it through his father's death.
It's the same as Captain Marvel, actually, right? Like, no amount of superpowers are going to save you from a heart attack or cancer, you know?
Yeah. But Elektra's death came out of nowhere and was very shocking and like totally.
And
I mean, but if we're doing the saddest, it's tough not to pick like Superman's dad.
Yeah.
But it's also like to look at to see what Elektra's death does to Daredevil.
Yeah.
I'm going Elektra. I feel like everyone's gonna pick Jonathan, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick Elektra.
Jeff?
And again, like Frank Miller said, that Marvel will dig her up out of the grave so that they could sell some more comics after she's dead.
Hey, if Jonathan was a ninja, then maybe he would come back too.
Now there's a comic I want to read. Jonathan Kent, Ninja.
Jeff?
Let's go, Martha.
Right,
I feel like I think I'm gonna go Jonathan, even though he's like, I think he's currently alive in the current DC universe. I do think there is something to the heart attack death of Jonathan Kent that is extremely sad.
Yeah.
Not that Elektra's murder isn't sad, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Jonathan.
It's definitely very sad. I remember. I think it's in All-Star Superman 6 or maybe where it happens. But yeah. I will say also, like, seeing him, to Clay's earlier point when he was talking about the film, when they finally wrote off the character in Smallville, that was rough.
Yeah, that was
because we got to spend so much time with him, like those first few seasons. And then what's the name of the actor?
John Schneider.
John Schneider.
Like, he was just great. I think both Kents were cast fantastic.
Bo Duke.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but John Schneider's kind of slipped off the crazy scale lately.
I was gonna say, don't look up John Schneider in like Google right now.
Him and Dean Cain are going for best Superman villain.
Who hasn't? Lived off the villain? You either live long enough to become the villain, you either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain.
That would be a great villain though for Superman. Would be like dig up the carcass of Jonathan Kent and reanimate it as a villain and have him fight his own father.
Don't give DC any ideas.
I need a millennial Superman that rebels against his boomer parents.
Fuck you, Dad. Climate change is real.
That's right. And I'm trying to solve it, but I can't fly fast enough to get everywhere. All right.
Quit rolling coal, Dad. I'm gonna fight climate control first with you.
Dad, the Earth isn't flat. I've been to space. I can see it.
The beep is he's trying to take down Fox News.
Yeah. All right. With that being said, though, I'm gonna pick Elektra.
Oh shit!
So, Josh?
I'm going Jonathan Kent. We have a tie.
What?
All right.
Yeah. Again, this is kind of the same argument as the Cap argument, right? Like, Elektra's death is shocking, but Jonathan's the saddest, like, because you just know what a kind of emotional, moral core he is to Superman. So,
but has he done his job in the state of where Clark is in his life? Because I feel like he's done his job as a parent, that if he had, when he dies, that Clark's ideal Superman is the ideas that he was taught by his parents. So he just lives up to that. So to me, it's like, I'm going to live the best life that my father had given me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and I feel like Elektra's death was just like the downfall of Matt Murdock.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're talking about sadness, even that legacy that Superman has with his father is still sad, like,
yeah.
So,
I just feel like there's an element of Clark growing up that he gets everything from his parents to become the man he is. And without his father, he still becomes that man. He's learned every lesson and he lives his life to the best of his ability because of what he learned from his father and his mother.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, it's sad. It's sad in the sense that he is this, superhero like a god and can't save his own dad. It'd be
He's not
weird if
even there.
it sent into a spiral. Like, if it was, to me, it would be sad if Superman could not continue being on Superman.
All right,
I do like that we have the potential for Uncle Ben versus Jonathan Kent.
Oh, fuck.
Okay. Well, we'll leave it up to the coin. So heads is gonna be Jonathan.
All right, let's do it.
Tails is gonna be Elektra.
Tails.
Oh, all right.
Tails.
Elektra.
God, why do you guys hate Jonathan Kent?
Just John Schneider.
Oh, no. Oh,
this should be way deeper. This should be way deeper. This is a tough pick.
Oh, this is hard. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think you guys know what we have here. We have Ted Cord, Blue Beetle getting shot in the head, and Gwen Stacy's neck getting snapped. Two iconic deaths. Well, at least one very iconic death and one pretty sad death.
We'll let you guys
Have at
determine which one's which.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a tough pick.
Whose choice is it first?
Who starts this one off? Is it back to you, Jeff? Was Clay? Clay, you were the first one with
Yeah,
Elektra,
I pick
right?
Elektra.
Okay.
So it's me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say Gwen. I'm gonna say Gwen.
All right. We have some people in the chat. Carlos did not enjoy that pick.
It's sadder.
Hey, listen, you could have chimed in earlier, Carlos. You left it up to the coin. You pick Gwen.
I picked
Jeff?
Gwen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick. Maybe it's just more of a recency bias thing, but I'm really on a Ted Cord kick, so I'm gonna have to pick Ted Cord.
All right, I'm going Gwen, but here's the reason why. It is heartbreakingly sad because right up until that moment that we're looking at, Peter thought he had saved her. Right? Yeah. So he thought he had saved her, and then he's like, "Oh, thank God!" I think he even is like, "Thank God for my spider powers." And then he goes down and realizes that by saving her, he snapped her neck and killed her, right? So it's like the sadness there. I mean, if you think of Uncle Ben's death and Gwen Stacy's death, it's all about what is he doing with his powers, right? And how can his powers still, if he's trying to do the right thing, still cause such harm and tragedy? So anyway, Gwen Stacy.
Who died first, Gwen Stacy or Captain Stacy?
I think Captain Stacy dies first. Okay. Right?
No, doesn't.
In the comics?
Yeah.
Oh shit! No, you're right. I'm sorry.
That would
Gwen
make sense
dies.
for the story.
Yeah. No, you're right. Gwen dies, and then Captain Stacy
dies later. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Because in the film, it's backwards. In the Mark Webb film.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Clay, are you gonna give us a tie, or are you gonna?
It's tough because, I remember reading the death of Blue Beetle, and I'm such a fan of Ted Cord, and it's like, how do you take the best Justice Leaguer? To me, Ted Cord was just one of the best Justice Leaguers, and kill him, and so it was sad. But Gwen's death has always affected Peter, and if it was not for Spider-Man Blue, I don't think I would have picked Gwen Stacy, but I'm picking Gwen Stacy because of Spider-Man Blue. That really solidifies her in the history of Peter's life. Because just the sadness that he carries for her. And I mean, like, even though it's like different in the movies, the way they change it up in the last film where Andrew Garfield gets to save MJ and has that redemption moment, like that is so great. Like that's, I mean, you know, and I know we're just sticking to the comics, but when you go outside of that, like Peter's never gotten over Gwen's death.
Yeah. Can you imagine if they let her die too? Like Andrew Garfield Spider-Man just can't catch a break.
Oh God, yeah. He just everything he touches dies.
And I guess yeah.
But Ted Kord, like really, I think for the Ted Kord death, it would have been like we would have had to spend a couple of years with Booster to see how he lived through it. That would have been really the telltale of the sadness of it, and how it would have affected the rest of the Justice Leaguers who had done time with him.
Well, I can't wait till James Gunn introduces us to a really cool Ted Kord that he will eventually kill off and make us all cry. So,
yes.
All right.
It's gonna get hard. Fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
I think who is it? Me again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You.
Yikes. This is
Yeah, Jeff. You as you said,
I mean,
it is easy.
My argument on this one is one of these characters never comes back from the dead.
That's true.
Stay tuned.
You guys should have been here for the.
Actually, I'm lying. There was a Wizard Deadpool issue where they brought back Uncle Ben for comedy.
Oh,
so that's the only time I've ever seen Uncle Ben
for comedy.
For comedy.
Yeah, I gotta go with Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben's rice.
Oh, yeah, Ben's rice.
All right. That's easy, actually.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, Supergirl.
Oh, and now
who's death affected?
Okay, I hate to say it. This is the women in fridges comparison here. Oh fuck. Oh man.
Before we even had a name for it.
Right, exactly. Apologies
to
Gail Simone. I'm gonna go with Gwen Stacy.
Clay?
God.
Yeah,
this is really tough because like Spider-Man Blue is such a great story about his coping with that, but the downfall of Matt, you know, is really good too. Gwen Stacy.
I totally want to run the dog one by these guys to see how they would choose on the dog bracket that we created.
Oh God.
I know I feel bad missing on that one.
Okay.
Gwen Stacy is my pick.
Jeff?
That's two Gwens.
Yeah.
I think I'm also gonna go with Gwen. It's Gwen.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter much, but I also probably would have picked Gwen.
Okay. You can still pick
now we get a fun Gwen versus Uncle Ben.
Which one's affected him more?
Wow, this is the saddest Spider-Man. Oh, Jesus.
I think Jeff, you start on this one, right?
Oh, do I? Oh
no, it's Clay.
Oh, Clay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
All I knew is that it wasn't me.
Oh. I mean,
I think I'd be more afraid to be the last one, honestly.
True.
If Uncle Ben doesn't die, Peter doesn't become Spider-Man. If Gwen doesn't die,
excuse me, he was already Spider-Man El Luchador.
Yeah.
It was a tough one.
Carlos saying what we're all thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, and really, we only get Gwen back in alternate universes. Same with Ben. I don't think we.
It's only the Jackal that's bringing her back.
One of the very few summer annuals I ever bought back in the late 80s was the one where Gwen Stacy comes back and you find out it's one of the clones by the Jackal.
Oh,
yeah, the Jackal keeps bringing her back. I don't know why. Who let that man get close to any DNA?
Uncle Ben. I think because Peter does have such a change after, he goes from being, wanting to just be rich to wanting to help people. changes his life. Gwen changes his life in such a way, but not like he doesn't give up being Spider-Man. He doesn't like there's no. It's not as drastic as what Ben's death does to him. So Ben Parker.
Okay, Jeff.
I'm gonna go. Gosh, I don't know. I'm gonna go Uncle Ben for the same reasons Clay said.
So interestingly enough, that you guys, I mean, I think that Uncle Ben's death made him become Spider-Man, but I think Gwen Stacy's death make him become the Spider-Man he should be, because he was a lot more reckless, and he, you know, I feel like he also overestimated his abilities, and like this gave him kind of a reality check. I think each death, and if Captain Gwen Stacy's death was on this, like it would, you know, it's all kind of it sucks that Peter has to learn the lessons the hard way like this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna pick Gwen Stacy.
I am also going Gwen Stacy, kind of for the same reasons Danny said, but also I go back to my prior argument. You know, Ben's death is tragic and it is formative for Peter, right? But there was a sense, I mean, Peter was always a good guy. And so there's a sense he would have become Spider-Man that we know and love, helping people anyway. But Gwen Stacy's death, like he thought he had saved her and then she's dead. Right. And that's just heartbreaking. I mean, that is so tragic. So
back to the chat. Carlos, if you're still there,
Yeah.
let us know. What do you think? Because the chat gets to decide tiebreaker. Kyle really decided to not be here on a bad day.
yeah, exactly.
Uncle Ben.
Oh wow. All right.
I wouldn't be so jovial about it, but all right.
Yeah.
Yay.
Oh God! Now we're up. Oh fuck! Yeah. Oh no! Oh, this is basically the same argument from Marvel versus DC.
So before we vote, let me throw out my argument here.
Okay.
With one of these, 2 parent figures die.
Okay.
Then my argument is just a numbers game.
He's already lost 2 parents. Now he's lost a 3rd parental figure. So really, Peter's lost more.
Damn, Clay with the heart.
And it's not like he's rich.
Yeah, that's okay. So wait, I don't start, do I? Okay,
no,
you start.
It's Jeff.
It's Jeff.
Okay. Me? I start. Oh, geez. I was just here for the giggles. I don't know.
You didn't think something called March Sadness was literally going to get sad?
I'm the one that made it.
Jeff's working through a lot of his own stuff.
Listen, there's been a lot of death in my life. Uncles, everybody. No, I am. Gosh, I think I'm going. I think I'm gonna go the Waynes because Bruce. Gosh, I don't know. I feel like it's worse to actually witness it than to come up upon it. Like I don't remember in the comics if like in the movies, I think Peter comes upon his uncle dying, but I don't know if that's how it happened in the comics.
No, it's not. He just
he returns home.
He finds out
home and the cops are there, and then he goes out and gets the guy.
So I'm gonna go with the Waynes.
I am also gonna go with the Waynes, because Peter doesn't have to constantly work in the place where his uncle died, whereas Batman, for some reason, has to do a lot of work on crime. No, yeah, I just feel like they were both kind of like in the prime of their lives too. Like, you know, Uncle Ben was a little older too, and like
he only had a few years left.
Yeah. Who knows? But Yeah, no, I gotta go with the Waynes on this one as well.
All right, this one's hard. And actually, I was going to go with the Waynes because my thinking was if we look at where Bruce Wayne was when his parents died and where Peter Parker was when Uncle Ben died, if Bruce Wayne's parents hadn't died, he would have just grown up to be probably a snobby rich kid. What would he have done for the world, right?
Exactly.
And again, as I said before, Peter is always a good kid, so there's a chance he would have turned out well. But I'm going with my gut on this, and my gut is I distinctly remember little kid me reading the first issue of Spider-Man because it was reprinted at some point, and getting to that moment, and it was like a punch gut. I was like, oh, I did not expect this, right? And then to see how that does form who Peter and Spider-Man become. Oh, fuck, it's so hard. I'm just going to go with Uncle Ben.
All right. Clay?
This is tough because I look at it like if Bruce's parents don't die, then Bruce doesn't become Batman and become a fascist and terrorize all of Gotham. If Uncle Ben doesn't die, Spider-Man just continues wrestling and is more of a performer.
So you're thinking about the entertainment world that was robbed of Peter.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out how it breaks the character.
Well,
like to
like
me,
in-
Batman is just severely broken by this.
I think it would be a little like House of M. Did you ever read the House of M Spider-Man tie-ins that he is actually just like he's famous and a wrestler and stuff? Like, I feel like that's kind of how he would have maybe turned out.
So he basically becomes Bruce Wayne, is what you're saying. He becomes a rich asshole.
Hold on a second. You guys keep saying he's an asshole. I've yet to read anything to let me know that Bruce Wayne is an asshole.
Okay, well, here, let's put it like this: if you could live in Gotham, would you?
No, what?
Yeah,
That's why I also don't live in New York.
Could I live?
But then that's I mean, that's Batman City, and he fails to protect it.
Yeah,
Could
but
I
also
live in Anton First's Gotham? Because if so, I'm there.
Gotham, which is based in New York, which is where Peter lives.
He's actually a Jersey boy, isn't he?
No, he's from Queens.
No, he's from Queens.
Oh, Queens. Shit. Yeah. Okay.
Which I guess I don't know how cities work in New
I
York.
don't. I don't either. It's a borough, right? Or not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's on the other side of I think it's like not Manhattan. So
All I remember is in the
it's like he's living in Arlington.
Well, I remember. Why am I blanking on this? The oh, Jesus Christ! We just talked about the Spider-Man game, but it's the one of Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oh,
in that game, I distinctly remember having to cross the Brooklyn Bridge to get to Manhattan. But anyway, yeah.
The saddest I think is going to be Uncle Ben. He's lost three parents.
Well, that leaves us at a tie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna go Uncle Ben. It does a lot for Peter. I don't know. I really am curious, like what Bruce Wayne grows up with one parent or both parents.
I feel like I read those what ifs somewhere. I know they're out there somewhere.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like he ever goes down that path. But what if he loses, a mother or a father? Like, what does that do to him?
Yeah. I think eventually, in some, he does become just like a philanthropist, like his parents were.
Mm-hmm.
Although his dad was involved in some kind of shady shit in some stories, like with the mob and stuff too.
I mean, they are still 1%, and they aren't helping like the poverty that exists.
No, these guys are. That's why Ra's al Ghul had to take him out in the Dark Knight.
Ra's al Ghul was right. Gotham is kind of a shithole. Bruce has been at it for a long time and still hasn't been able to do a lot, has he?
Or if you read Gotham Year One, his grandparents, not good people.
Yeah.
At all.
Who was good back in the 1800s?
So,
all right.
so are we saying that money absolutely corrupts in Bruce
Interesting.
Wayne's scenario of growing up with and without parents? Because
Yeah, I think so.
because I feel like even his reign as Batman is violence over justice.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't know how to be a regular person,
Right.
which is unfortunate, and he takes it
Yeah,
out on his kids.
So it is a broken human, but I feel like he's also broken by the wealth that he lives with. Peter becomes a different person, and he doesn't have the shackles of the wealth.
I think if this was the death of Alfred, it'd be like a no contest. But
oh yeah, Alfred. I mean, that would be the third person in his life. So
Right. Yeah.
that would be his Uncle Ben.
Right. Yeah.
well, let's see. Heads is gonna be the Waynes. Tails is gonna be Uncle Ben.
All right.
Tails it is.
Okay, hold on.
Wait.
Both are rough, but a lot it's a lot harder for a child to process the death of his parents, what makes it very sad to me. Peter was 7. Yeah, he was 17. So the coin and Carlos in the chat both agree.
But
but
Peter was 17 and had already lost his parents before that. This was the third parental figure he had lost.
Listen, we've stopped the count. All right.
it is canonically the Wayne's death.
So there you have it.
Wow. That is
the flip of a coin.
That
probably.
Hey, you know what? They could have turned right instead of left down Crime Alley. You know, I mean,
Yep.
They had just gone to watch something that was not scary, like Zorro.
And it could have just been Bruce that was shot and not them.
Well, we do have that story. It's called it's called Flashpoint Batman.
Flashpoint Batman.
That one is less sad.
So really, if the 1% loses a member of their family to a violent crime, they then become a hero in
or
DC's
the Joker.
universe. Or the Joker.
Or the Joker, yeah.
There's no in between. There's no grieving. There's no grieving in a normal process or anything. It's just Joker or Batman.
Yeah. See, and in reality, if you have money and you just become a Joker in our universe, I don't think there's any heroes with money in our universe. They're all clowns.
Make me rich and let me try.
I want to see your Batwing and Batmobile, and
I'll do my best.
I feel like you'll have a tumbler.
Yeah, but it'll be like one of those Stanley Cups from Target. All right. Well, good. There you have it.
I'm glad we got to the bottom of that.
Thank you, Jeff, for putting that together.
Yeah, thank you.
I did not think we would spend this long on it, so I'm glad we did it first.
It was a good debate worthy because we have what ifs and we have so many other things to kind of look at how their life would go.
Yeah, for sure. It was also good to reminisce about where we were when we read some of those stories.
Right. Yeah.
Like, not born yet,
and I had In the Arms of an Angel playing in my head the whole time. We were doing that. So I made sure that I was extra sad for the whole thing.
I had, that Sarah McLachlan song with the dogs.
That's it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's it.
Oh, that's it. Oh, I didn't know that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should have that while
we're all on the same page.
Unfortunately, YouTube won't allow me to use that, but all right. Let's move on. So I guess Clay, I didn't even ask you if you got a chance to read Dawnbreaker.
I did.
Cool. So we're gonna do a quick review of a comic. We won't go into any spoilers. This is a comic that's coming out next week that our friends over at Dark Horse sent over for us to check out. Give me a second. Let me pull up here it is. All right. So we're going to talk about this book called, Dawn Runner. Not Dawnbreaker. Dawn Runner #1 from Dark Horse Comics. Let me give you a quick synopsis. We'll talk about the creative team and all that. A century ago, a portal opened over Central America, and the Tetsa that came through changed our world. Now the world bends all its effort into making the Iron King's great mechs that must battle the Tetsa for humanity's continued survival in gladiatorial combat. Anita Marr is the greatest of the pilots and is chosen to pilot a new prototype that could change the tide of humanity's favor, an all ages sci fi epic from rising stars Ram V and Evan Kagel. Um, so, as I mentioned, yeah, this is written by Ram V with art by Evan Kagel, colors by Dave Stewart, letters by Aditya Bidikar. Um, and when I was reading this, I was not expecting, I was like, I love Pacific Rim. So I was like, oh, okay. But then it definitely takes some really fun twists and turns
Oh
in
yeah.
that premise. But I definitely like it made me feel like, okay, we're getting into a story that I've already kind of like. But Clay, I'm gonna throw it over to you. What did you think of Dawn Runner?
It is pretty awesome. I really dug the art. Like the art is a mixture of Eon Flux meets Sid Mead. So the people have that stylized look. Oh, I'm hearing an echo. And then
Oh, where's that coming from? Hold on.
Is it me? Hang on. I just unmuted, but
hello. It's done. Oh, never heard it.
it's me. All right, hang on. Sorry. I mean,
Hold on. You have echo cancellation. That's weird.
Hello. It's gone. Okay.
But you're muted right now, Josh. Unmute. Let's see if it.
Oh.
how about now?
Hello.
Is it back?
I don't think
No, I
so.
don't think so. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Cool. I'll just
yeah.
not unmute.
But they do the best world building in this thing. So like that's the coolest part is like they show you so much cool stuff. And I just love the stylized look of the people versus the very mechanical look of everything else in the world. Like it's very like when I talk about Sid Mead, he like did all the production stuff for like Blade Runner and that style. So you can kind of see that in the background. I dug it. I mean, just for the style alone, the story is great, and I love Ram V's work. But man, I'd never seen art this great. That just like it paid off for the book. Big time.
Oh yeah, that definitely a surprise. I was not familiar with Cagel's work, so when I looked at the pages, I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
All the design looks very stylized, like you mentioned. The characters have very distinct look. So, but Jeff, what did you think of the book?
I enjoyed it. First off, I don't know if I call Ram V a rising star so much as I just call him a star.
Yeah.
He's working on Detective Comics, so I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much further you rise from there.
Yeah, I was just like, that's a weird way to put that. I love the artwork. The first part of it, I was just like, what in the Jonathan Hickman information dump is this? Like, there was so much happening. And honestly, it almost scared me away from the book, but I'm like pushed through it. I'm like, I don't know what any of these words mean. I'm just gonna keep reading. Artwork is beautiful. I did get the artwork though did confuse me, like when we have the mech fighting the giant monster kind of towards the end. I'm like, I don't really know what's happening, but again, I just kind of like push through to see where it goes. But yeah, it's a pretty good it's like Pacific Rim kind of sort of there, but more I guess corporate because everything's a dystopian corporate world that we live in now. But yeah, the artwork is great. The artwork is beautiful. A little confusing, but beautiful.
Yeah, I also, like I said, I quite enjoyed the book. I like the concept of it. I think when we get towards the last few pages, there's a big surprise, or at least something that kind of comes out of nowhere, right? When they're trying to like, I don't want to spoil anything, but they do want to unveil this new model that I read on the synopsis, and that's where things kind of take a turn. I do hope that we get into a little bit more of like the Anita character and why she like how she kind of became their top person. Obviously, a lot of it has to do with the familial ties, but but the people seem to really like her, and I think there's more to that than just nepotism or something like that. So, yeah, and the action stuff looks really cool too. Like the Tetsu's designs, I didn't know what to expect in my head as I was reading it because I think it's a made up word. I don't know if it means anything, but yeah, when you first see one of them, and I feel like they're just gonna get weirder, and because they mentioned that the one we see in the book is kind of a smaller one. So I can't wait to see what
it was harmless.
Like. Yeah, and the mechs look cool, like all the little images like that we saw, some of those designs. So yeah, very very excited to hear what people have to say about this. But I quite enjoyed this book as well. So very very thankful to Dark Horse for letting us check it out. Do you guys have anything final to say on this book? Josh,
Evan Cagle. That art is amazing.
Josh,
and I hope that Rom V kid does good.
Yeah,
stuff. That rising star Rom V.
Rom V's got a bright future ahead of him, eh? But Josh, you didn't get to read the book, but have we piqued your interest? Is this?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And just in the pages you showed, I totally agree with Clay. Very Aeon Flux with the character designs. It's awesome. Yeah, I had it downloaded. I'll take a look at it.
Josh is being called by the.
Sorry. Right. Yeah. Let me mute.
Is it Ram V calling you? Why you? God,
I wish. That'd be awesome.
Come on, we said you didn't read the book.
It sounds like that's all when Nintendo calls you.
All right. Well, we're gonna end this. Of course, as always, beautiful variant covers that I'm gonna have a hard time picking from.
Oh man.
Yeah. I mean, I am looking at Evan Cagle's art page. Unbelievable. His game stuff looks like Rankin and Bass artwork from the 70s. Like his people in that are very stylized and look like The Last Unicorn. Like that artwork. It's amazing.
I feel like I've read something that he's done the art for. Hang on. Trying to figure out.
I think it was Superman and the Authority.
Oh, he was doing it. I think was he doing that with Clayman, like the other pages?
Yeah, because he has some odd pages in here. And then he also did Catwoman, Catwoman 32. It looks like some pages. Maybe the whole.
I've seen his name before. I'm sorry, Clay. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just looking through his comics pages that are on
that's too
on his website. But yeah, look at his game art. His game art will blow you away because the style is amazing. It looks like a mixture of digital and real world.
Wow. Very cool.
Unbelievable.
Very cool. All right. Well, let's close out here. That's just for the edit. Cool. Well, Jeff left, so I guess we'll just keep going.
Show's over.
Jeff's like, I did my bracket. I can go.
Yeah, bracket's done. I'm out.
Bracket's done. We did it. All right, cool. Well, with the rest of the time, however long we go, let's talk about some stuff that we've been reading and watching and all that stuff. I'm gonna throw it over to you, Josh, because I feel like you weren't here last week, right?
No, I was here last week, but I'm all my comic reading. I think so, right? Was I or was I not?
What did we do last week?
I think we just caught up. We had intended to do the bracket, but
yeah. It was a week before that. Okay,
all right. Yeah, I'm still. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So I'm still behind in all my comics. I haven't picked up my comics for this week yet, but I'm still getting caught up, and kind of as a prelude to I know something that at least Jeff and Danny are going to talk about. I caught up on my Inner John universe. Skybound stuff. Void Rivals number 7. This book is fine. I'm enjoying it. I really feel like it's hanging its hat on its association with the Transformers universe. But as I was reading it, again, it's still an interesting story. It has this kind of back and forth that keeps happening. Like, who is... are the two main protagonists actually colleagues and friends, or are they inevitably going to turn on each other, right? Like that's kind of, it's, you know, that's sort of the crux of the book. But I was reading this thinking back to that first issue, and just what a brilliant way of sneakily introducing the Energon universe in a book of characters nobody had ever heard of before, right? And I just want to give props, because we get that so rarely these days, you know, that we get a true kind of surprise. So anyway, Void Rivals is still good. Transformers number 5, I'm an issue behind because I know you guys read issue 6, but wow. I mean, it's on the cover. I don't think it's really a spoiler, but the Constructicons show up, and I have a weird affinity for them because as a kid, I couldn't really afford a lot of toys, especially Transformers, but I was able to collect all but the left foot of the Destructicons. And then, like, by the time I was able to get them all together, they were like off store shelves. So I could never find the left foot. So anyway,
So if you're watching, send Josh a left foot.
no, please no. That's wow. This is going to go sideways really badly. I don't need that 7 moment in my life. Duke number 3. I think after reading this, I posted in our Discord that I still have a massive crush on the Baroness after all these years. Wow, just incredible. And then, of course, continuing Cobra Commander number 2. This book is just so great. I mean, this whole universe that they're kind of creating has just been wonderful. So it just, every time I read one of these, I feel like I'm 10 again, you know. Yeah. But so anyway, so there's those. Dungeons and Dragons Saturday Morning Adventures number 2. Just really fun. I like that they're kind of continuing on these stories from the cartoon, and they feel like the cartoon. Like they're clearly modernized in a way that they keep introducing stuff that D&D fans would know. So like this series in particular has introduced Drist. I don't want to spoil anything, but they introduced 2 iconic characters in this issue as well. So if you're a fan of just both the classic D&D cartoon and contemporary D&D stuff, it's worth a read.
Josh, I was gonna say you couldn't spoil that book for me if you tried.
I think that just tells me you need to go play some D&D. Crave number 4. Does anyone know how many issues this is? Is it?
No, because I thought it was 5, but it feels like they're ramping up for a second arc.
Well, and that was my fear reading this one, is I felt like they were going to rush an ending. Hang on. Let me say that better, because it sounded like a Russian ending, which I don't know. Rush and ending. There we go. But I'm kind of hoping they don't, because I feel like there's a lot. They introduce a bunch of like background subtle references in this one, you know, that I was like, wait a minute, hopefully this stuff gets explained, right? So anyway, still a lot of fun to read. But my pick for the week, this is the kind of thing that when I see it advertised, I'm like, hey, who wrote and drew a comic for Josh Rose, right? Like Batman First Night, written by Dan Jurgens, which I still find weird because I always think of him as an artist, but written by Dan Jurgens and art by Mike Perkins. I love this so much. It is basically set on the eve of World War II. And, you know, so it's what, 1938, 39, around there. It has some weird kind of occult stuff. You don't know what's going on. I think the key thing that this does, not really a spoiler because it's kind of in the first few pages, there is no Alfred. This is Batman without Alfred in his life. And so you're really getting a sense of like not just what it would be like if Batman existed in like 1930s Gotham, but like he's having to do this without really any support. It's great. It's great. It's really good. I had to get the pulp inspired cover because I mean, oh look, it's beautiful. Anyway, so just really excited about that. I will say, I feel like the art at times is almost too busy. And I actually kind of wondered if that's why they printed this in kind of oversized format, because this would be really hard to read in like a normal floppy size. I also found it weird because there were clearly moments where the artist is pulling oh god, I just blanked on his name. Who's the actor from To Kill a Mockingbird who plays Atticus?
Gregory Peck.
Thank you. It's very clear that the artist is using Peck as the design for Bruce Wayne.
Just like him.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, if you love period pieces, if you love again, these like alternate takes on Batman, it's worth reading. So
I really enjoyed that book. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just like, I love that they use Gregory Peck as the.
Yeah, and that's not just it. I mean, there's an earlier panel where I was like, oh, that's Gregory Peck. Hang on, it's right. I mean, I think that's him from To Kill a Mockingbird. I could be wrong, right? So
yeah, looks like him.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that book. I think it's something that I'll read once it's all collected.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But I like the different kind of take on, like, it's a Batman book, but it's not just about Batman. So that's very cool. I also love seeing Batman in the old, like the original, like design, right? Because he's got the pointy ears.
He's got the purple gloves. Yeah.
Like I'm just trying to like figure out like, how long after the what's it called? The chemical factory issue. Like, yeah, look at that. It's just great.
Yeah, really it's like first appearance in this. Yeah. So
really taking advantage of that. And I mean, and if you saw that, I think the art lends itself to be like how not so much realistic, but like kind of bring it into a more of a real type of world. Like if you saw some crazy dude dressed up in a bat show up through your, through the ceiling, you'd probably freak out. So yeah.
Well, and even like the mayor, when he lands, he's like, "You've got wings," right? Like there's this like really, it kind of speaks to the efficacy of the design of it. Even though in like some panels, they're like, he's wearing blue boxer shorts. I mean, that's basically what's on the outside of his costume, So yeah, it's great. It's really good.
Very cool book. Yep. All right, Jeff, I'm gonna throw it over to you. You got a few things to talk about?
I do. I would like to point out that Gregory Peck was born in 1916. So in 1939, he would have been 23. 20. Perfect age for a Batman.
You're absolutely right, man.
So I read Action Comics. What is this number? Is this 1063?
Yes.
This is the final issue of the Bizarro arc. John Tim's artwork is so great in this. I wish he would do all the comics, honestly.
Do them all.
Do all the comics.
It's a pretty good wrap up. I enjoyed reading Jason Aaron on Action Comics. A pretty good little thing.
Yeah. I won't give anything away about that issue, but like, if you just Jason Aaron, if the whole world's gone bizarro, who would be the one person that Superman could turn to for help? And it's such a fun answer, and it makes the last issue like really cool. So yeah, I quite enjoy that. It's only 3 issues. So yeah, a lot of fun. That one, I can't wait to see what else they're doing with this Superman Superstars or All Stars, whatever they're calling it, because it was a great pick, great read.
Did you guys pick up on that hint of who it could be?
I'm assuming it's Batman.
No, but in this world, everybody's Bizarro, right? So the opposite of what you would think they should be. So
I
who
just
would be
figured
the
Batman's
relief?
always figured it out, so I figured that's who he would go looking for.
It's an even more fun surprise, I think.
So
Bat
my
Knight?
next issue is Our Bones Dust number 4.
Fuck, this is so good.
Has everybody read this issue?
No, I'm behind on that book.
Okay, so I don't want. I feel like a lot gets introduced in this issue. And this is all the last issue of the series or the thing, because I went and looked, and I mean it ends with. I think it just ends with the end or something. I don't know. Maybe just it ends with the end. Is it getting a second series?
Yeah, I'll check right now. But to Josh's point earlier, Crave is going to be 6 issues.
Ah, fuck.
Okay.
And Our Bones Dust is 4 issues. It looks like.
Yeah, I looked it up, last night I was like, so I don't know if there's a second series. I feel like they introduced a whole bunch of stuff that does not get answered at all. You're just all this new information is thrown at you, and then and then it's like the end, and I'm like, what happened? And then to see Dave Stewart on the book that we reviewed earlier, I'm just like, I didn't know what was going on. So I was thrown for a little loop. I mean, still beautiful artwork, still a great story. I'm just like, I don't understand this ending.
It's like Mobius meets Mad Max.
Yeah. The last thing I want to talk about, and I don't want to talk about it too much in general because I know Josh needs to catch up, is the latest issue 6 of Transformers. My favorite part about this comic, though, is there's this one panel where Optimus Prime picks himself up off the mat and he gets back into battle, but there's like a bunch of hash lines behind him, the motion lines, and they spell out, "You know the song."
Awesome. That is awesome.
Yes.
And
I missed that.
That is my favorite part. Let me see.
That is fantastic. I'm going to be bummed if Johnson doesn't keep working on this book. He is perfect for it.
Oh yeah,
this is
there
a
it is.
hard. This is a hardcover buy.
You know this song. That's so cool.
Funny, my favorite panel was one of my favorite panels is in that next page where Starscream's doing like an STF type of move on Cliff Jumper.
By the way, I did mean to point out, I love this opening page of issue 5 where you just get like Sparky and Optimus Prime's like, they're these sort of comparative moments in their lives. It's just so good. He's so good.
I have a lot of faith in Corona, and I mean Darian Warren Johnson's still gonna be writing the book, so.
Oh, okay, all right, that's good.
The last thing I have, which I haven't really had a chance to dig into, is I picked up this Lifetime magazine. This is from March 11th, 1966, but it's got Adam West on the cover as Batman. It's just cool to flip through an old magazine that's, what is that, 60 years old, 70 years old?
Yeah. All the ads making you embarrassed about your body. That's key marketing strategy back in the 60s.
I don't know if you guys know this, but cigarettes were a big thing back then. So,
What's a cigarette?
Lucky Strike. That's your brand, right?
That's right.
Lucky Strike.
That's Batman's favorite brand.
All right, let me go through some of the stuff, my favorite stuff of the week. The first one is I Heart Skull Crusher. It is
nice.
It's like a post-apocalyptic world where there's a sport, and our main character Trini just kind of falls in love with it, and it's like super anime manga style, and it's bright and it's fun. And she talks to her parents who are both skulls and they're dead because this is the apocalypse. So another Mad Maxian type of world, not the same as Our Bones Dust, but like just look at the anime influence on this. Like, so yeah, I loved it. It's big, it's bright, it's colorful, it's loud. I just really, really enjoyed it. That was a really fun book.
She's a fun character too in that
Yeah.
comic. Yeah.
Follow the House of X #3. As we get closer to the end of Krakoa, they're finally wrapping up some loose ends, and some, as you can kind of see from the cover, some people are probably gonna get their comeuppance. As we have Doctor Stasis about to get impaled by Wolverine. Avengers Twilight continues to be freaking
So good.
fantastic.
So fucking good.
Yeah, really, really cool. Let me
You
go
know
through.
the weird thing about that book is the digital art and stuff that kind of exists in the background is so clear and crisp, but the foreground characters are very rough, and it just kind of shows who they are.
Yeah, I like that a lot. It's a really interesting thing by Acuna, what he's doing there. I just want to. I haven't read this, but Greg Capullo did a Ghost Rider cover, so of course I had to pick it up.
Fuck yeah.
And then I also picked up Thundercats #2. This is a Jay Lee cover.
Does Snarf finally make an appearance?
Who? No, I have
Snarf?
no Snarf yet. We're on Snarf watch. And then we have this foil cover, a new character that's introduced. So
Snarfwatch sounds like something any doctor with a middle-aged patient needs to be on. We're on a Snarfwatch.
I also read Rick Remender and Bengal's new book, Napalm Lullaby.
I almost picked that up. It looked interesting.
We have a review.
name.
We have a review copy on the Dropbox. So if you
Oh, really? All right. I'll go download it.
I think it was fine. I expected a little more from this team because I really like their Death or Glory book that they did.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah. So the book looks fucking amazing, and the beginning of it, it's really like it's playing off of like a story that you probably read before, about a alien that comes to Earth and crashes on a farm. But then it takes a really cool twist from there. So yeah, it's interesting. I think I'm gonna revisit. I'm gonna check out issue 2, and then from there I'll decide if I want to keep reading it or maybe I'll just wait for the trade. I feel like a lot of Remender's work to me works a little better in the trade.
Yeah.
And then my pick of the week, and I've been talking about this all week. Helen of Windhorn.
I need to get it. It's in my pile.
Dark Horse with Lucas Evely. So if you enjoyed Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, you're gonna love this book.
Ooh.
It has a lot of the same fantasy stuff. It even includes some like gothic kind of horror type of stuff. So minus the superhero stuff of it. Yeah. So this is the main cover by Bill Kazevely. This is the Clayman cover.
Oh man.
This is a Tula Lotte cover, and this is the Massimo. Forget the name of this artist. I'm not as familiar with them, but I had to pick it up. Let's see if I see here. Yeah, Massimo Carnevale. Yeah, like this one's the more kind of painterly. It's very cool. It's a very, very cool book. Yeah, this is usually with Tom King. I'm like, do I want to read it monthly or do I want to wait and just to like do a little? This is the opening page.
Oh wow! God, I can't wait to read this.
Yeah, go check it out. Yeah, I'm very excited for it. And then the last thing, I checked out a new TV show on Peacock called The Apple Never Falls. It's got Stan Neill, like from Jurassic Park.
Oh,
It's
okay.
got Annie from Community. What's her name?
Oh, Brie
Larson. No, Brie.
Not Brie Larson.
Allison Brie.
Allison Brie.
Allison Brie. Jeez.
It's got
Brie Comic Allison.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's got Plop from The Office.
Plop. We'll never live that down.
It's got a good cast. And the only reason I want to check it out is because Peacock is one of the services that I currently do have. I canceled a lot of stuff. But I'm keeping that one for the wrestling. It's really funny because it's like kind of like a crime thriller almost. But it's like white people problems crime thriller.
Oh, I hate those.
Because the family, like Sam Neill and his wife, who's very known too. I don't remember her name off the top of my head. But like they ran a tennis academy. And that's kind of like their business. And all their kids went into like almost tennis adjacent
Annette
type of
Bening.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, she's great. Um, she's great at being like this kind of overbearing mother. It's also funny because like the family all kind of it feels like they don't like each other, or like the kids resent their parents a lot, maybe because how hard they were on them, trying to make them go into like tennis stuff, but they all ended up doing other stuff on their own. I don't know. It's a really weird relationship. But it's interesting. So yeah, I'll probably keep checking it out. I think Peacock has some decent stuff on there. So yeah, if you have it. But that's pretty much it. Oh, and I've been playing a bunch of Star Wars Unlimited.
I bought a starter
yeah.
set, but I haven't had a chance to play it.
It's so good.
Is it nice?
I don't know if anyone caught the stream yesterday. Please go do so. I time coded where I freak out because I pulled a card that's currently worth $250.
Damn, nice.
Yes.
Like I freaked out live on air, so that was nice. I got a couple more boxes to open, so I'll probably do that later this weekend. All right, Clay, I'm gonna throw it over to you in the Swifties.
I will say I have started Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, look at that.
I went. I mean, I ripped through the first one really quick. I mean, the stories are very fast, and thank God I got 2 more volumes to go through. So, but again, like this is not the very beginning. The first one is just called Dragon Ball,
Right.
and but this one catches you up. So if there's anything in here that you have questions about, it gives you like who the main characters are. So I thought, and this is where I've always been told, this is where you start. Like you can skip Dragon Ball and start here, and it's either much more fun or it gets to the heart of a lot of things better than the first.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z is a lot more action packed, whereas Dragon Ball has action, but it's a lot goofier, a little bit more for fun. So
Yeah.
yeah, either way, I think maybe reading Dragon Ball Z and then going back to read Dragon Ball would be a fun experiment, just because you're like, you know, these characters, but then you kind of know where they came from.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it gives you everything gives you a good history. So it's
Yeah.
it's not like you're just jumping into the middle of something. This is the first volume and it starts off the story arc. And anytime there's any additional information, it'll give you the little editor's note that will give you everything you need to know to
Yeah.
go forward. So I'm kind of excited for this. This is the
Where-
first.
how much does Volume 1 cover? What did you get to? Because the first thing that happens is the Saiyans are coming, right?
Yeah.
I haven't read the manga in a while, so I don't know how it's broken up.
Yeah, like at the end of the first one, here, this is the first one. Yeah. Like he's got the hole shot through him, like Piccolo.
Oh yeah,
shoots.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it's that.
So Reddits and stuff. Okay, cool.
Yeah. But yeah, it is a very quick read. But I'm digging the ride. I think I could probably do like 3 volumes a weekend and just how many total volumes are there?
I think there's 47 volumes, but I don't know if that I think that's from the beginning of Dragon Ball.
Okay. Well, yeah, for anyone who's never read it, like this is a great place to jump on. I wasn't confused. I barely know the characters, and after the first volume, I have a good idea of who everyone is and what's going on.
Yeah.
I picked up Justice League Last Ride, Chip Zdarsky's Justice League story, where they had battled and broken up and now got back together, and they're dealing with the consequences of the previous battle where a Justice Leaguer has died, maybe because of Batman. And this has like cool moments in it. It has cool like Darkseid gets a hold of the lantern on Oa and blows it up and absorbs the power. I mean, there's some really cool moments in it, and I hate that I'm going to be nitpicky at this, but there is a character death that happens in this book that leads to a resurrection by the end of the book. that feels like a cop-out. I really didn't like that one piece of this, but I enjoyed everything else because I kind of enjoy Superman really being at odds with Batman, and that conflict within them trying to resolve the story of this is really good because he just doesn't know if he can trust him. And then you just get Wonder Woman kicking ass everywhere. Plus you've got like the Jon Stewart Green Lantern. Hal shows up. He hits all the great notes, but that one resurrection bothers me at the end, and I hate that I'm letting it bother me for this overall story. That was pretty fun.
I'm trying to figure out who will Chip Zdarsky kill. I'm thinking like Green Arrow. Jeff, any guesses? Have you read that, Jeff?
I did read it, and I'm honestly having a hard time remembering who he's. I think I know who he's talking about. I think I know who Clay's talking about.
A quick spoiler for that book. Who is it, Clay?
Martian Manhunter.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
I think you got the color right, just not in the name.
Yeah. He there's a point where him and Batman have to make this decision where he's going to hold them off, and he is ultimately going to die. And Bruce agrees with that. And even though it's his own self-sacrifice, Superman has a hard time, like, because he just never believes that there should be that loss.
Well, Superman can the fuck out.
So, but it was fun. I hate that I'm letting that one little nitpicky part bother me because there's some fucking cool ass moments. Like,
so I guess it bugged me too because I don't remember him being resurrected. I do remember him dying. I don't remember him being resurrected.
Because he's blown up in the Green Lantern energy. That's how he comes back as just a light but that's like not even as cool as when Darkseid blows up the fucking lantern, and then you see Darkseid with the Green Lantern logo on his chest, and just that power within him. That's the cool part. You're just like, how are they going to defeat him now?
Nice.
Oh, it's so fun. The only other thing is I've watched the Eras tour on Disney Plus. I've watched.
There's two different
twice.
versions on there, aren't there? There's the normal version, and there's the theatrical release, and then there's the Taylor version.
No,
right?
I think what was released for VOD was a version of the concert. What Disney has is Taylor's version, which has more songs in it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because it has like an acoustical set that's also in there.
Yeah.
But it is so weird, like not knowing her entire like discography, because everything is like a Marvel movie. Like she goes to a green piano and people lose their shit, and I'm like, what's happening? Like, it's kind of like at the end of every Marvel moment when you get like a tease, like when you see like Nick Fury disappearing, and then you see like the Captain Marvel logo, and every nerd freaks out. It's like, holy shit. Everyone at a Taylor Swift concert is a nerd for her, and every little thing means something. So it's neat to see their reaction. And then I'm just going, what's happening?
I love moments that where I'm like, oh, this is what it's like for other people. Like, this is.
It needs a new rock stars breakdown of Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah.
But that's all I've been reading. Watching.
Nice. It's good. I mean, I want to watch it. I don't have. Maybe I'll get Disney Plus for next week because the X-Men 97 premieres.
Yeah.
I've heard very interesting things about it so far on the internet.
I think it's great.
I've heard the showrunner is no longer there, and there's a story behind that.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for that to drop. Because like they won't even explain it, and he just deleted all his social media.
Yeah, that was wild. Before we get into stuff, while we wait for Josh to come back, because I think we want to do a trailer that Jeff has pulled up for us. We got news this week. We got a few news. So we can either talk Teen Titans live action or new X-Men books in the summer.
Both?
I'd rather talk the new X-Men books because there's more information about that.
All right. Yeah, so Marvel announced, and we have a video on the channel for this, but
I'm so excited.
Marvel announced some really cool stuff, which I wish they had held off a little bit. I know how comics work, but man, like, bro, I'm still on the Fall of Krakoa. Let me have this. You know?
Now, how do you guys feel about, because it seems like they're going back street level?
I know Kyle
gotta-
loves it. Kyle's been anti Krakoa since the beginning. Like he just wants him to go back to the school and street fighting and everything. And I kind of do too, because it X-Men is so convoluted now that like you can't just jump in the middle of Krakoa. You have to know so much history, and not just the history of how they got there, but the history of the characters and these save points that Mr. Sinister has, and how I'm really curious how they're gonna resolve the story of Moira,
Yeah.
because she's
Yeah.
been the reason kind of for Krakoa. So but this I'm super hyped for, because I see Nightcrawler as one of the teams.
So he'll be in the Uncanny X-Men. That's going to be written by Gail Simone and David Marcus. So we have
Yes.
Jubilee, Nightcrawler, Rogue, Gambit, and Wolverine. These guys are going to be based out of Louisiana.
Okay.
That part I'm excited about.
Who are you thumb-downing?
Gambit,
I just named 5 of my favorite X-Men in that team.
Well, you named one of my favorites, some other good ones, and Gambit.
Gambit rules. You know nothing, sir. So
Call me Jon Snow.
that's right. And then we have Jed McKay and Ryan Stegman, who did the promo art for this.
Fuck yes.
On the main book, the adjective list X-Men. We have a few new characters, but I can see Cyclops, Psylocke, which I don't know which version of Psylocke that is. It's hard to tell because of the hair.
Yeah, and their sword looks way different too.
Yeah, like are they back together? Are they few? I don't know. We have Beast, who's been really literally being a menace over in the Krakoan age. Quentin Quire, who's currently dead. if you're reading Sabretooth War.
Yeah, that's the wild shit, is when they drop these and you're like, oh, that character that just died in that book. Yeah, he's
Magic.
back.
I see
his death is not one of the saddest.
We see Magneto, but he's in a chair. So what does that mean? And then the other character is Temper, formerly Oya, who's one of the exiles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you didn't read Sabretooth and the Exiles, you may not know who that is.
We have some Omega level threats in here. I mean, Magic and Kid Omega are big time.
Yeah.
Oya was one of the going back to the what was Cable's daughter's name?
Hope.
Hope had those like 5 other mutants, that the first 5 mutants. Oya was one of them, wasn't she?
No. She was introduced in the Exiles.
Oh, okay.
I think
so the 5 was Hope, Prometheus, Gold Balls, Tempest.
No, before that. No, you're before Krakoa. This is way before Krakoa. This is
I don't know.
This is back when this is like post X-Men Avengers, like right after that, I think.
No, but it's Tempest, isn't it? She can control time.
She has. I think Oya has like, she's like a combination of like Firestar and Iceman. So like half of her is like ice, the other half is fire.
I thought she was
like in the Wolverine and the X-Men comic. No, she's been around for a bit.
Okay, cool.
Look at those insider points, Daniel. Damn.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Spend something.
They have nothing but garbage in the rewards.
I did buy some of their role-playing game tie-ins that go to like Demi-Plane. So like I have books over there that I've used my points for.
Yeah, I need to spend some of that. Hey Josh, we're just talking about some of the X-Men stuff that was announced.
Can I share something real quick?
Yeah.
Josh got to see this at Comic Book Club, but I got this from a friend of mine, Sabrina.
Awesome.
Yeah, so this was an ad for Alpha Flight before they had their regular Alpha Flight logo. So this was like a marketing poster that was put out back in the day, and it's even copyrighted 1983. I love Alpha Flight, one of my favorite teams, and I loved the John Byrne run, and she gave me this poster from the marketing stuff, and it's just fucking fantastic. I dig it.
That's great.
Well, that's very nice.
And there's also more X-Men comics that they've not announced a team for. So there's also supposed to be an X Factor, a Wolverine book, a Storm book, NYX.
You gotta have a Wolverine book, I think. It's legally
I swear, ever since they figured out they could just print Wolverine money, just put him in any book, have him crossover, give him Old Man Logan.
What's that? We now have 2 Wolverines? Great. Let's use them. All right. So Jeff wanted us to check out this trailer. It's for a film called Late Night with the Devil with David Dastmalchian.
Yes.
Oh,
This looks so good.
Oh my god!
Let's check this out.
Oh,
I think it's gonna be on Shudder or AMC
Shudder.
Plus, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys can hear that in a minute. There's no noise yet.
Yeah.
On Halloween night, 1977, America gathered around for a live TV event that shocked a nation. What happened was real. What you are about to see is the recently discovered master tape of what went to air that night.
What the?
Ladies and gentlemen, now, here's Mr. Mitch Jack Down.
Late Night with the Devil.
Oh, it looks so good.
I'm so
man.
in. I'm so in.
Yeah, I am hyped. Even down to the narrator's voice. Like, it's all like pitch perfect 1970s horror trailer. Like, oh.
Yeah. They went to dig up that guy. He hadn't done a trailer in years, but like we need you.
We need you to give us that 70s voiceover.
Let's start closing out the show with recommendations. Who's ready? Who wants to give theirs?
I have nothing this week.
All right, so just go read Dragon Ball. We're good.
Well, I will say, because I got these at the library and the upcoming price increase for Marvel trades, you can read for free at the library. You just got to tell them, order the books you want.
That was insane. Y'all see that $30 trade for 5 issues?
Nuts.
Yeah, I mean, fuck that.
What the fuck, Marvel? That's more than the singles together.
Yeah,
I wonder if you could cut down those singles for less than that. Is what my initial thought. I mean, it might be hard to get the first one, maybe, but I don't know. And I'm a little bummed about it when I saw that tweet. Yeah, the first trade for the.
It's cheaper just to maintain a Marvel Unlimited subscription because by the time the trades come out, those are already on there anyways.
Right.
That's what they're trying to force you into is like, but you can go to the library and just
you can't go to the library. You can get those. Make sure, even if you don't use your library very often, make sure to sign up so that the county knows, like, oh, we need to support the new tool. All right. Jeff, do you have a recommendation?
Not really. I mean, X-Men 97 comes out next Wednesday, I think. So I'll be hunkering down for that. Watching that.
Yeah. All right. Josh, before I ask you, have you watched either of the Aquaman films?
Not yet.
You're going to just cram this week? Okay.
I will.
There was an update on Wednesday.
Okay. All right.
So we know what to plan.
Yeah.
No, it makes you feel better, Josh. I still have to watch the second one too. So.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I was as excited as Josh was to watch Aquaman to get a colonoscopy. He just looks like yeah.
Also, guys,
Aquaman.
Madam Web is out on VOD. I want to watch it again.
Why?
Sony released like a 10-minute clip on their YouTube channel, and I was watching it, and I was just like, there's a small part of me that I was just like, when it comes to one of the streaming services that I already have, I might watch it. I say that, but I still haven't watched Morbius, so I don't know.
You don't have stars?
Stars.
Okay. Josh, what do you got for us?
Yeah, mine's weird because it's actually like I have no investment in this.
It's the edgiest
But
pick
yeah,
that Josh has ever given us.
yet. So here, let me share my screen. Doop-a-doo. I need to share my screen. Okay, for $20 on Humble Bundle, you have 14 days to pick up this 43 item Spawn bundle. I have never read Spawn. I've never seen the movie. I have literally no investment in this. I know
Start with
there's
the movie.
Start with the live action.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't start with that.
Oh, okay. All
What's
right.
the cartoon?
I've heard the cartoon is good. There was a really good Secret Galaxy video this week about the Spawn cartoon. So
Yeah, I've got all three. If y'all want to watch it.
oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, I guess I could spend $20 and read all of Spawn. But the thing is, like, I'm scrolling through this. I guess, is Spawn Origins the original series?
I think the white volumes, the ones that have a lot of white in the background, those are like the main collections of Spawn.
Okay.
Because you're also getting King Spawn, which is more recent. You're also getting the Scorch, which is kind of like the Justice League of Spawn characters.
Oh, I don't need that in my life. But okay.
You feel like you think you don't, but then you
Oh,
meet the
all right.
Gunslinger,
All right.
and
Well,
he's got a hat.
who knows?
Sam and
We
Twitch
are-
is written by Bendis.
And
Yeah,
I know Gaiman has some. Didn't he create Angela for
Angela.
this?
Yeah, Angela's in there.
Yeah.
And please know
Williams.
that when Rat City comes out, that's going to be written by Erica Schultz. We're going to read that for the show.
Oh. So I will need some Spawn knowledge, is what you're saying?
You will. No, I mean, you're going to get some Spawn in your life, one way or
Oh,
another.
okay. All right. But anyway, so that's fine. You got 14 days if you're a Spawn fan.
Funny enough, I think I'm going to do a review of Spawn 351 because the title at the top says new artist, new direction, because I think they just passed like every time they make a milestone thing, they kind of try to give people a way in. So I'll see if it's a good way in or not. But my recommendation, it's Man's Best. This is a new boom. I got to read the Ashcan. This is like these are what are they called? Emotional support animals that live on a ship that crash landed on a planet, and now the animals have to go get help for the people on the ship. So it's kind of like, yeah, the spaceship, yeah. So it's kind of like We Three, but maybe not as sad, more sci-fi-ish.
That's the saddest of the March
Thank
Saddest.
God. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the imagery really says like We Three a lot because then
Oh,
you know
yeah.
they had those like those mech suits around them. So yeah, this was a lot of fun when I read the Ashcan. So I can't wait to get into the full issue. Boom's been doing some really cool stuff. That I Heart Skull Crusher, that was also from Boom. So very excited to get into that. Also, stay tuned this weekend. We'll definitely do more Star Wars Unlimited talk. I'm gonna try to convince people to play with me on TTS, which is like the digital tabletop version of it.
Oh fuck, I'll play.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I just need to learn how to play.
same.
It's really easy. Go check it. Yeah, you can watch a couple videos. It's pretty easy to play.
Okay.
And then what else? Oh, and then tomorrow I'm gonna be on the Ivory Comic Books podcast for our recording live. So that episode should be out on Wednesday. Our theme this week, we're gonna read from. I think we're gonna read a book. The book of the month theme is women creators because it's Women History Month.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna get into Black Cloak. That's my
Yeah.
goal.
That's a great book. Yeah, really.
I've heard many good things. I read the first issue when it first was announced on Substack. So not even an image on Substack back in the day. And I love Kelly Thompson's work. So like
it's
her
fantastic.
Birds of Prey run. Her Birds of Prey run is incredible. So all right, there you have it. That's all we have for today. Let us know what you think of our bracket. Finally, Batman won one.
I read it on Substack as a comic book person's. I have it on vinyl. That's how. That's how. I read it on Substack. Mm.
Yeah, I like to support creators outside of their the mainstream.
I get my my matcha coffee, and I just go through a little Substack in the morning.
I don't even use Kickstarter. I use Zoop.
Did you make that up, or is that a real thing?
No, Zoop is a real crowdfunding. It's just a smaller crowdfunding, but it's kind of going around.
Okay, all right. I'll look into it.
The hit people know about it. The hit people know.
Yeah,
About it.
yeah.
People that are in comics know about it. So outside of this,
Have you guys heard of this thing called TikTok? I don't know. It's in the news.
Well, I'm gonna enjoy it as long as I can.
Tic-tac-toe.
God, I hate elected officials, but I hate them even more when they show me how out of touch they are by doing dumb shit like that. Anyways, let's get out of here before I start my social
We got a
event.
Pokemon.
Bye,
Go
guys.
polls.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Most important thing in life will always be
El Bebo.
Simon Center, get the fuck out.
All right. Bye.